Alright, now Castle-Mania picks up right where the last episode left off. In this episode, Twilight's trying to find the secret to the box that the Tree of Harmony gave them, but there's nothing in her library that can tell her anything, so Princess Celestia suggests that she go to the old castle that they found the elements of harmony in, because there's a library there that she thinks might just have a book that could tell her something she doesn't know. So, okay, Twilight and Spike go there to study all night. And meanwhile, though, all of the other friends, or I guess the other friends, I should say, find their way there for totally different reasons. Applejack and Rainbow Dash, I guess, picking up where they left off from season one, they're competing for the title of most daring pony now. So after they end up in, I guess, a complete tie with Pinkie Pie keeping score in duels, and the beekeeper they're using to play human beehives, pony beehives, whatever. He asks for his bees back, so they decide instead to go spend the night at the castle to see who chickens out first, because there's an old legend there that some of the Nightmare Moon's magic was left behind the night she would vanish, and yeah, now it can turn into a evil being, provides some excuse for a creepy legend. But okay, so and meanwhile, Rarity, having waited, you know, 3 seasons, I guess, to do this, decides that, or hears that there were old tapestries in the old castle that would be worth fixing up, because she, one, can't stand to let beautiful art rot in an old castle, and two, she wants to draw inspiration for her new fashion line. Oh, whatever it was. Okay, so she brings Fluttershy along to help her get the old tapestries out. So, okay, everybody finds their way into the castle without knowing the other one is there. And meanwhile, I guess while they're in there, it starts to look like this Pony of Shadows legend might be true, because a shadowy figure starts following them around, and then the walls start flipping, and the rooms start shutting them in, and stuff like that. So, okay, they're just missing each other, and they're getting in and out of traps, and they're accidentally scaring each other. But then Twilight discovers the Princess Sister's old diary, which might just tell them the key to all of this. So, okay, and then meanwhile, the Pony of Shadows apparently moves downstairs and starts playing a creepy organ to her a few times. But all right, so basically, from the start, like when I saw this episode, my reaction was just okay. I right away into it, because I mean, it seemed to be just like taking what happened in the Princess Twilight Sparkle and running with it. Just yeah, all the characters, right that they're doing stuff that's familiar, but then like taking it in new directions. Applejack and Rainbow Dash competing with each other again, and now finding new stuff to get competitive over, and this time letting Pinkie Pie keep score, and just and this time doing it, I guess, more fair and square, just daring the other one to chicken out, and that kind of stuff. The thing with Rarity, sort of taking advantage of Fluttershy, but well, I mean, not telling her up front what it is, but putting the pressure on her a little bit to help out, and okay, all that kind of stuff, and solving the conflict from last time with the box. There, they didn't just forget about that. They but they established that okay, they're going to be, I guess, spending the season trying to figure this out. So okay, and then they're in this castle. They set up a mystery, something that could be wrong with the place, and things start going wrong. So I'm like, ooh, okay, this is going to be a fun one. And then about halfway through it, we got to Twilight, who's been hard at work reading this whole episode, while Spike gets scared of spiders and noises and stuff. Okay, but yeah, she has found the journal that the two princess sisters kept when they were living in the castle, I guess when they were younger, and it explains everything we just saw. How there's paintings you can duck behind, and a Hall of Hooves, which Applejack and Rainbow Dash were just wandering through, and Trapdoor Slide, and how it's all just a funhouse gimmick. And then it also adds that there's an organ to the outside on the way, and then we cut to the Pony of Shadows. She begins playing that, and it starts switching the rooms around, and then it cuts back to the friends like we're continuing on with the story, and I'm just like, yeah, you know what you just did there, right? You just explained away everything. Like that, there is no mystery anymore. You just told us the answer to the conflict. I mean, like that we now know that nobody's in any danger. I mean, we don't know who the Pony of Shadows is yet, but I mean that nobody's caring about. There's no sign that we're getting any closer to that. You still want us to be invested in the four friends wandering through the place, but you just told us the answer to that. That yeah, it's just a bunch of harmless funhouse gimmicks. Okay, so if there's no mystery, nobody's in any danger, and nobody's trying to accomplish anything that we're supposed to be invested in, then why should I care? Like, I mean, it's a pretty far-reaching claim, I guess, to say that, okay, this one point is an episode killer, but I mean, yeah, I'm not talking about, I mean, a lot of people tell me I sound a little harsh on picking points apart, and I mean, I don't just go in, like, looking for technicals, just, like, mistake, you made a mistake, that's it. I mean, like, I'm watching this episode, and I mean, just okay, when they start going into the castle and let the walls start flipping around, and I mean, they see Applejack and Rainbow Dash see a tapestry move, and it's just Fluttershy behind it. It's like, okay, there was nothing to be worried about that time, but it's like, okay, we're setting this up. There's something odd about this castle, and then, okay, but they explain it all the way. No, there's nothing odd about this castle. We're just watching them run in circles. I'm like, okay, wait, guys, you're just building up a whole mystery that I was so excited for. But what happened to that? I mean, you're not doing. I mean, aren't they supposed to be? I don't know, solving a mystery? Or I mean, anything? Is there anything we're getting closer to? You're just telling me the story of them chasing their tails in circles for 10 minutes now. This is boring. Do something to engage me here. Like, what about this involves getting from A to B? There is nothing here to be invested in. There's no point to any of this. Am I supposed to be impressed because I've never seen a creepy castle before, or because the characters look cute screaming? What is this? I mean, there's nothing wrong with the idea of this. They go to a creepy castle and something goes wrong and they have to figure out what it is. There's nothing wrong with the characterizations of this episode. There's nothing wrong about the reason for this to happen. Like, everybody has a reason to go there, except, well, Rarity, it was a little odd that she'd wait this long for it, but I mean, just one very important point. You forgot why we're supposed to be, why this should concern anyone. Like, there is no point. I think this episode was trying to be sort of, even though it's called Castle-Mania, a totally different reference, I think it was sort of trying to be like a Scooby-Doo tribute, but I mean, that's the thing. Even though the gang wasn't really in any kind of danger, there was an explanation to all of it. You know, there was still a figure trying to get the best of them. Like, they still had to actively try to solve the mystery, try to fend off what was coming at them. Here, they're scared of something that we know is harmless, and it spends most of the episode trying to drill in how there's nothing to be scared of when, okay, you just told us there's nothing to be scared of. We already know that. And you're just very cut, paste, and pointless. And except, okay, I guess Rarity, she's trying to get her moves on Royal Tapestry, so I mean, I guess her struggling to do that, there is at least something that involves getting from A to B there, but I mean, that was just a joke conflict. We weren't really supposed to be that invested, and I mean, we're supposed to laugh at how Fluttershy has to be put through the ringer because she's the element of kindness. She's going to do that for Rarity, so yeah, how she has to be put through the ringer for something that really isn't that important. So I mean, yeah, it's like all that build up. I mean, because I mean, I guess, you know, sometimes we're just spending time with these characters and watching them get themselves into trouble they didn't need to get into. Okay, that can be fine, but I mean, no, this episode was like going in there. It was telling us there was something that needed to be figured out. Like, there was a problem here with this shadow following them and the walls sliding around and everything like that, and it still wants us to be invested like that after it reveals that there is no point, that it's all harmless, that there's nothing to worry, that, okay, yeah, we already, after it tells us the answer to that, it still wants us to be invested in it. I mean, this is very quickly becomes the story of the gang chasing their tails in circles for 10 minutes, and 15 minutes, I guess, technically, because it's most of the episode, they're in there, and another few minutes in, they, it's all pointless. So, I mean, this opportunity is kind of an understatement here. This is aggressively boring. All of it. Just, like, I don't want to say this episode didn't go anywhere, or that, like, it needed to be a conflict or a fight or something like that, because, I mean, the king of episodes that didn't go anywhere would still be It's About Time, which literally ends back where it started, with future Twilight contacts past Twilight. But I mean, okay, that, even though we could still see that, alright, this still wasn't going to be a devastating conflict from the future, that Twilight was going to be, that she needed to learn not to worry so much or anything like that. There was still, there was still the question of what prompted future Twilight to travel back in the first place, and okay, what is going to create the scenario that started all of this, and what is Twilight going to put herself through, because, I mean, it just, had a great time spinning its wheels through all of these insane scenarios with Cerberus and, the Twilight monitoring, all the monitoring, but everything. Never forget that shot. But, okay, that was, pretty good. That was getting us, like, invested in just, how insanely into this Twilight is getting. So, I mean, that found ways to keep us invested, and this does not. Rarity and Fluttershy, Rarity, like, she's, started out, she was the one I was the least interested in, but now it's like, she has sort of that eccentricity that can be what an episode needs, I guess. So, they, I mean, were at least entertaining, but, I mean, they were, they couldn't create a reason for this episode to exist out of thin air, so, I mean, and then Applejack and Rainbow Dash, I never thought I'd side with Rarity and Fluttershy over Applejack and Rainbow Dash, but, I mean, their story was a total flat line. They see something that should not be moving, move, they get scared, they run away, rinse and repeat, and we know that it was nothing already. We know exactly what it was because the episode already told us. So, and unlike Fluttershy and Rarity, who are doing essentially the same thing, they're not even doing anything that involves getting from A to B. They're there to be scared. So, I mean, it's self-explanatory and pointless. And plus, Twilight doesn't even find out anything about the box. So, I mean, just to make doubly sure this episode didn't accomplish anything. It's, hey. And then, there's the end gag where they go down to investigate the Pony of Shadows, and I mean, very in case anyone wants to come at me with, but no, I still was scared of who the Pony of Shadows were. They were still trying to solve that mystery. Like, that didn't factor into anything, just like they told us about, Twilight told us about an organ that is another harmless gimmick, and then the organ started being played. There was no ticking clock on that. It wasn't like they needed to figure out who was playing the organ before it was too late or anything like that. Okay, we know that some mysterious pony is screwing with them with harmless funhouse gimmicks, and that is neither good nor bad. That just is as presented. And then at the end, they find out that it was Pinkie Pie who followed them in there, which, I mean, it's funny, granted, but I mean, again, there is no arc to this episode. There is no conflict. There is no running apart from they're getting scared when they shouldn't be. There is no conflict to be invested in. Put it that way. It solves it before it's actually solved. Anyways, it takes the episode 10 minutes to get to where we already are. Okay, so and then but Pinkie Pie at the end. That's kind of a funny reveal. So I mean, as much as I was just let down with this episode. What a missed opportunity it was. I don't know if I can quite bring myself to say thumbs down, because, I mean, just so much of what you'd want to see. Like, it had everything you'd want to see in motion, and then it just did nothing with it, story-wise. But, I mean, apart from individual moments that, okay, I mean, like, everything that's good about this episode could have been done in 6 or 7 minutes. But, I mean, still, though, it's, okay, it's got, Applejack and Rainbow Dash still doing what they do. Some good comedy from Rarity and Fluttershy, and from Pinkie Pie, who's keeping score and doodles and sticking her head in a school bell and stuff like that. So, I mean, and just in general, it's a visually interesting episode. So, okay, and in spite of the fact that it's such a missed opportunity and not very interesting, I can't quite go so all the way to thumbs down. I will have to say more like neutral, just because there's so much in here that you want to see. It does not fill up an episode. I mean, there's no way I can say it meets the standard, but I mean, there's but the fact that it didn't, offer me the benefits of an actual episode, I can't dismiss it either. So, okay, neutral vote on this one, and that really is a shame, because I mean, this episode, just like the last one, seemed to be getting right back into everything the show was doing well before. Yeah, this one did too. I mean, just the characters and the great ideas for conflicts and just the creativity. But I mean, it's it comes to show you just how much one critical misstep can kill an episode. I mean, yeah, one. I don't know, like what they thought they were doing. That if they just thought that the four friends getting more scared and more anxious and more worried about, or Angel and each other and whatnot, if they thought that that was rising action, but it's like, okay, they're still getting more worried and such. But I mean, we still already know that there's no danger that it's going to turn out. Okay, just fine. So, okay, no, that's not rising action. You're just sort of spinning your wheels. That's, and it's not. I mean, it's not like that they're going into some deep personal conflict either. I mean, there's nothing to learn from this. We all know that. Okay, the minute they find out that there's nothing to be afraid of, they're going to be like, oh, there's nothing to be afraid of. And sure enough, that's exactly what they do. I mean, it's even in the fact that, okay, there's no tension in this episode. It doesn't work hard to pull something else from it. It just, okay, it wants us to still be interested in them getting scared of things not to be scared of. So, really a shame, but okay. Also, quick bit of news, which you may love or hate this, but I don't really love it. But okay, yeah. After the between the two specials that took almost 2 weeks total. The blog series I was also writing about the same thing in blog form. It has had a chance to sort of get back ahead, so yeah, I am actually a couple episodes ahead of this one by this point. So okay. Bad news is, I guess you're technically my reaction won't be as fresh for the next couple, but the good news is, though, I think you're gonna like my next couple reactions progressively more than this one. So, okay, if this was a disappointment to hear, just okay, stay tuned. Better things might just be on the horizon. So, okay, I'll see you at next one, which is Daring Dumb.